Goedenavond, welkom. We gaan beginnen met deze tweede online Power BI gebruikersavond. En hoewel je misschien naast ons nog even het oude filmpje ziet, gaan we dadelijk gewoon door met onze tweede avond alweer. En in dit verhaal waar wij nu zitten, gaan wij alles opnemen. En morgen kan je dat terugkijken via onze YouTube kanaal. Daar vind je ook al de sessie terug van Reza van gisteren, die gisteren is geweest. Ik verzoek jullie allen om de mute te gebruiken, zodat we niet allemaal gestoord worden door allemaal geruis. Er is een Q&A. Als je daar vragen in stelt, dan gaan we kijken of die gelijk kunnen beantwoorden. Vragen die voor Leila zijn, gaan we proberen door te zetten. Nou, vanavond hebben we Leila met een vreselijk woord, namelijk de Charticulator. En dat is dan iets waarmee je custom visuals kan maken zonder dat je code hoeft te gebruiken. Voor mij is dit ook iets nieuws, dus ik ben daar heel erg nieuwsgierig naar. Zo, we gaan langzamerhand schakelen. Leila is present at this moment, so I'm going to add her in few seconds on our screen, and then everything for this evening will be hers. She is going to tell you everything about how you can make your own custom visual. And to be very honest, I'm excited. Here she comes. Okay, go ahead, Leila.
Cool. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me put it here.
Leila,
Can you hear me? Oh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, cool. So, thanks so much. That's great. First of all, thanks so much for this opportunity. It's great to be presenting about the Charticulator and for good friends and also for the user group here. I'm going to talk about Charticulator, that how it actually works. So before that, I'm Leila, based in Auckland, New Zealand. Now is about 6 a.m. in the morning, which is great. And I'm going, actually, I do Power BI and AI. I was actually in Utrecht about a year ago, I think so. And I kind of is a great conference. I present there. So I also present before Corona thing. So we travel a lot. So these days we do mainly everything remotely. I also author of couple of books that you can see here, and my email address if you have any questions after that, I'm more than happy to answer. So I'm going to talk about Charticulator. So actually, first of all, let me explain what we have from creating visual in Power BI. So what was the story of the creating visual? So in 2015 that Power BI actually comes, so we have a standard visual panel that's till now we have it, and it was kind of a bit limited. Then actually we have some gallery actually that's the people coming from the other companies or Microsoft, they create their own visuals and they put it there through gallery. And next in 2015, we get one of the code-based place to create visual that was using our visual in Power BI report. And also the same 2015, 2016, there is a possibility of the creating custom visual with also there's a difference between visual and custom visual. So visuals that we mentioned is kind of the part of the panel visualization, but custom visual also be part of the panel, but people couldn't see the code. So custom visual with code, with a Node.js, with the Java, and also with the R coming in 2016, both of them was another way to create custom visual. And also in 2018, we add Python And now in 2019, actually at the early of the 2019, we have Charticulator. So these are all of the options that we have. So we have from the beginning, we have actually our visual in Power BI report that you can embed the code. So I'm going to have an overview on that, and then I'm going to show you that what is the Charticulator and how cool it is. So yes, the first option was a standard panel. So it's good, but it's limited. So the problem with that one was so limited, and you couldn't actually, maybe you're not happy with the visuals that you have here and you want to extend it. That was a bit limitation we have over there. The gallery one actually is good because many company created actually their own visual. We have really good companies that create that, or Microsoft itself put their visual there. There are many visuals. There is things about there that some of these visuals can be trusted, some of them certified, some of them not yet. So it still is a bit limitation on them, and actually you see that sometimes still you couldn't find the chart that you want. Your customer want specific chart, but they are not included into the gallery or in the standard panel. So we require more visual. So the more the interesting, but we like more. We want to have more visual through that. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about was about creating the R1. So in 2015, that actually the ability of the create a R visual inside Power BI comes. So as you see, you can create different charts with the coding. At the end, after the Charticulator, I will put a demo on that. So that was an option. Actually, you can write R script inside Power BI, which was really quite good. So what is the bad point and good point of that? So the bad point, the good point was you can create more visual, but the R code, also R code was so flexible and you can support different packages. So the bad thing was that anyone can change the code. Everyone can see the code through that, and it was a one direction interaction, so you couldn't slice and dice the Power BI visuals. You can slice and dice our visual, but you couldn't slice and dice, and of course you have a difficulty of sharing with others. So to just a very quick demo on that, I'm going to show you. So for example, for that one, if I want to use, I'm going to bring the data over here. So for example, I have a data about, I'll just see, is it one? For example, this one. So I bring a data set over here. And for the R1, I need to install R on my machine. And also, of course, I needed data. Okay. So I need to install R, and then I can enable the R visual over there. And I just need to paste some of the code. So I'm going to just very fast show you the code that I have. And I'm going to choose some variable over here. And there was actually an area that I can write and paste my code. So I access to the different libraries. I write a simple code over there, and I simply run it. So when I run it, actually, I should make sure that all of the packages and everything over there. So you can see here that if I share this Power BI with anyone, if they just put some by accident, just type something in the script area and they run it, it doesn't work at all. So it's so fragile and also needs lots of coding. And the code environment that we have here is not really good. So there is a possibility to open it into RStudio, but still there are some limitation about the coding. So you need to bring it here, code here, and then put it back, the code over there. So that's still good to have that one, but it was not enough. So this is the one that we have, and you can change it a lot. So you can, for example, change the code a bit and make it different type of the visual. Another problem that this one has, as I mentioned, was if I click, for example, I create a, for example, a chart like this. and I click on that, is able to slice and dice the R visual. But if I click on the R visual, it couldn't slice and dice the other one. And and also the other problem that we have is it works on the personal gateway. It doesn't work in the enterprise one. So that's another problem we had with the R visual. So back to the presentation. So this, you see that how it's good and bad. Is really going to be very fast. You can have lots of flexibility, but in the same time, some limitation, as you can see here. So the other one, I'm not going to demo on that, is about the creating a custom visual with R or with JavaScript. So there are two ways to create them. One of them is through the JavaScript coding. Another was through the R Studio. Again, with the R, you can create custom visuals. So the good things about custom visual, let me show first the good points. So you can create more visual. R code again is so flexible, or the JavaScript was so flexible. Lots of packages and lots of coding probability you have. Easy to share, error handling and messaging is good. You can have all of the format changes and everything. But again, we have the problem, at least for the R custom visual, we have a problem of the one direction slice and dice. And also, if you want for the R custom visual, if you want to create it, it's hard to share with the others because they need to have R on their own machine and they need to run lots of code. I will show you that example that I create the slope chart in Charticulator, and when I create that one using the R is actually kind of totally different. For that one, it took me about 4 days to create that with R custom visual, while you will see that here I create in just 10 minutes a custom visual. So let's go and see that what is the Charticulator. So the one that actually I really love, let's see that how it works. So to access that, let me zoom it. So this is a site that you need to go. So the site is charticulator.com. So what is the history of the Charticulator, how it's available and how it's come? So Charticulator is created by Microsoft Research. So these are the people that were the persons that actually they start to work on that, and actually there is a academic paper on that on IEEE website about creating interactive charts, and people can create their own charts. Charticulator is actually has been used for creation of the other charts that we have in Power BI gallery. So some of the charts there has been created because of Charticulator. They use Charticulator to create them. So in this demo, I'm going to show you two charts. One is the simple scatter chart, and another one was the slope chart. I create both of them using R and Python in Power BI before, and also R and for the custom visual. And to be honest, for at least for the slope chart, I wrote about more than 500 rows of code. But I will show you how we can create these two charts over there. So let's go and check out the website. So to go through that, you just need to go to charticulator.com. So this is the website, so http://charticulator.com. So you're going there, and so before I'm going to main thing, so you see that there are some galleries, so just check out the gallery that is there. There are some sample of the chart that you can create using Charticulator. So as you see here, for example, I can show you one of them. For example, this one. Some of them has a very small video on that. You see that just 2-minute kind of videos, but it's not a very detailed one. But you can see that actually how is easy, just a drag and drop environment. You don't need to write any code. You specify the dimension that you want, the symbols that you want to put there, the direction of your chart, how you can create very fancy links between the bar charts things, and it's quite actually easy. But the problem, as you see, is not really detailed one. When you're going to follow the steps by step, some of the steps has been missing in the video. So one of the challenges that me and other people that works with Charticulator is that there is no good documentation on that. So that's a kind of the still a bit drawback of that. Hopefully with the community that we have, we created more documentation, and also Microsoft maybe create more documentation on that. So you will see that actually how you can create the charts over there. Just going to browse some of them that we can see here. So you can just go and check out them. And also you can see the actually, if you're interested to see that how's the behind the scene works, you can check out the paper on that. So let's going to launch. So here you can launch to the main editor to create your custom visual. So when you come in here, is ask you about a sample data set. It shouldn't be, for example, if you have 1 million record of data, it shouldn't be that 1 million. It can be a small set of that, because we're creating a sample one. It's better to be a small set because it's getting faster. And it's work just for CSV files. So I'm going to bring a data set over here, and the data set is this one. So it's a very simple data set. It's about car with their models, with their type of driver, number of cylinders, their speed in the city and their speed in the highway, and other information. So you can see an overview of the data over here. Just put it down. So as you see here, you can see the columns that we have over here. So you see that we have, for example, the models of the car, the year of the car, and you can see different icon beside that. So the icons is, for example, you see the ruler. That means that, for example, for the speed in the city and the speed in the highway, they are numeric value. Or, for example, for the for the type of driver or for the model and manufacturer, you see there is the kind of the other symbols with a circle and the diamond and a star. They are string value. Or, for example, for the year is a category of value. So you see that is actually, you can identify the type of the data here. So what else we have here? So this is the data. If you want, if you decided to change it, you can just click here to replace the CSV file with the others. You can do that. Or if you want to show the data value, you are not sure, you can look at that. So as you see, I have manufacturer. You see it's a string value, the model, display, and the year, and other things over here. So that's good. So what else we have? So here we have a small actually overview of our charts, and here is the main area that we can drag and drop the data over here. So at the top, we have an option named mark. So here is the place that you specify what type of the data should be there. So for example, you want to create a bar chart, so you can create on the rectangle to create a bar chart. Or you want to create some charts with a scatter one and has a dot under your chart, you can use that one. Or for example, you want to put some text. For example, you want to put some labels, so you can use that area. And also picture. The picture, the icon one is a bit limited. You should have your own icon there. It's not like Power BI that you provide the link or the web link for that. So it's a bit limitation here. So what I'm going to do, also let me explain a bit this part. Okay, so as you see here, let me a bit zoom it. So there are some specification over here. I think, let me see if I can make it a bit bigger. So, okay, so I just make it a bit here. So here we have different layers. So the first layer is chart. That is actually have the plot segment. So it has actually said you that you have y-axis or x-axis. And you can put a title over there. So let me put actually a dot over there. So I'm going to create a scatter chart with a symbol with a dot. So I click on that and I said this is the actually my data. And I'm going to put the actually the x-axis, this one, the speed on the city. So I just drag and drop to the x-axis. So you see that I drag and drop it to the environment. The x-axis become orange, like my t-shirts, and that means that I can put the data over there. For the highway, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to drag and drop the data over here. So that means that if you look at here, you see that on the y-axis, I have the data about the speed of the car in the highway, and in the x-axis, I have the speed of the car in the city. So it looks like a chart, but what's happened underneath? So now, if you look at here, so this is a chart segmentation. That means that this is X and Y. This is the title of the chart that is here. I can change it. So I'm saying that I want to have a scatter chart. I need to click on check to make it change. So that's a 1. What else I have? I have symbol. So symbol, bar chart, the bar, or whatever it's put in the charts as a, we call it as a clip. And I put a symbol. So these are the dots are the symbol. And for the each of these attributes, which are for the each of the layer, if you click, for example, I click on the symbol 1, I can see the specification of the symbol. For example, this is a circle one, but I can change it. I said, no, I'm not happy with that. I want to change it as a star. So you see that now it's become like a star here. They are not anymore a circle. Or I want to change the size. So I can specify the size of the symbols that I have here by a number, or I can say, let's do it as a numeric value. So I drag and drop another field that has a value like a circle to put it here. So you can see the size of the symbols can change over here. And you can again change it to the other ones that you want. So this is the area that you actually have. Let me remove it. We don't need that one and change it back to the circle. That's much nicer. Also, you can change the field. You can put a legend for that. So for this example, I'm going to put the legend of the type of the driver of the car. So I click on that and drag and drop to the field. So you will see that actually it shows me the speed in the city here, the highway, and the different color shows the type of driver. So it's better to have a legend on that. So I can easily click on that icon that binds the data, and I can say, okay, that's good. If I want to change the coloring, also I can. There are different themes here, even Power BI one here, so I can change it, but I'm okay now. I just want to add a legend. So I add a legend, and you can see here, my chart shows like this. So that's the type of a driver. You can see everything over here. You can change many things here. You can change, I will back with another example of a slope chart and you will see that. So this is a very simple one. So you see that with a very simple changes, I create a scatter chart. So now we are going to see that how we can import it to the Power BI. And you're going to use this one as a custom visual over there. I will back with the other settings that we have here with another example, but just for now, let's see that. First of all, I want to save it. So I want to click and save it. So every time I back to the Charticulator.com, I'm able to see my charts over there. So I said save it. I can put a name, for example, scatter chart as a save my chart. Also, I want to export it to the Power BI. So you see that at the top, we have an icon about export. So I click on that. I have option to export it to as an image, as an HTML file, or as a Power BI custom visual. And you can, here, you can change the name. So, you can set, instead of the driver, I want to set legend. Instead of the city, that was on the x-axis, I want to set X. Or for that one, I want to say Y. So you can specify, change the name over there. And also, yeah, enable the tooltip, put a name. I said scatter chart, something like that. put your author name and whatever, and then Power BI custom visual. Going to save it. Going to the Power BI. So this time I'm going to open my Power BI here. Going to get the same data for now, but you can use other data that you have. Is a custom visual. Going to load MPG through here, so it's the same one. And now I'm going to, so here I'm going to import a visual from file. So this time I'm going to import a visual from file, and yes, import it. This one. So you see that on my computer, it saved a pbiviz file with my name that I put a scatter chart, and I'm going to open that one. So let's see that how it works. So yes, it's added here. Again, you can check. We already set our name for this custom visual, but also there is a way to change the icon if you don't like it. So I click on that, and you can see these are the fields that I specified there. I put legend XY, so you can see here. I'm going to put that one. So for example, I do the same thing, but again, you can choose different data. I choose this one. Again, I need to put other data here, and just make sure it's don't summarize. Sometimes it's summarize the data, and the type of a driver. So you can see the same charts over here. So this is a custom visual that I'm create through that, and also it's probably really good. I'm going to put for example, one, and you see that is actually a slice and dice the other one. So I think so. Yeah, it should slice and dice sometimes maybe, or you can slice and dice. Click on that and slice and dice other parts of actually here. So that's actually a slice and dice the other one, and also this one, and no one can access the code behind the scene. So now let's back to the again the Charticulator. So just closed it. I'm going to create a new one. So this one that I'm going to show is a bit more complex. This one, let me explain it a bit. What is that? So this one is a chart that actually we call it a slope chart. We don't have it in Power BI. This is a one that we have it in R and Python, and this has been used to see between it's good for 3 to 7 or 8 KPI to compare to each other. So I use it for about 5 or 6 students that they score in 2014 and 2015, and we are going to see that how their kind of score changed during there. So as you see, for example, for Nick, he got 45 in 2014, but he got kind of close to 65 in 2015. So kind of the increase. That is a bit different. I should put it otherwise because it's going down. So yeah, I will make it correct in the demo. And you see that, so 2 people, they score actually is not really good. Pam and Sam actually, their score are nearly good, is decreased, but the other people actually increase. So it's kind of help you to has a kind of the KPI of the between 3 to less than 10, because otherwise there are lots of line over here. So let's see that how we can create that. It has a different style. In a scatter chart, we have a y-axis and x-axis, but here we have 2 axes in the parallel. So how we can make it? Let's back to the visual here. I'm going to create a new one. So click on the new. I need to drag and drop a data over here. I have some data set that's I'm created myself, so it's not a one. Again, make sure it's a CSV file, so slope chart. So as you see, again, the data about people, about a couple of people, they score in 2014, 15, and their status that increase or decrease. So I'm going to load the data over here. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going again, put a dot. There's a, just let me check first. Yeah, I think Okay, so what I'm going to do, so this is the one that I have, that's a plot segment that I have. It has X and Y. I need to remove it. So because I don't want the X and Y, I want two parallel one. I'm going to remove it. So I click on that. But here I have both of them. I have the plot segment for the X and Y, but also I have a line one. So I'm going to use these lines. I click on that, put it here. Again, put it here. And I'm going to put the line for them. So now actually you see that I have two axes parallel to each other, and also I put a dot because I want to have a dot in each of them. So now I want to pass 2014 and 2015 here. I want to set this year, and this is the other one. So I put it here, drag and drop here. You see that the same one, and also this one. Just make sure it's become, yes. So these are the actually is happen. So you see that they have different scales. So the other one of them start from 45, another 100, another one 64 to 90. This can be a challenging, so they have different scale. Let's make them same. Just let me minimize this one. So these are actually my new segmentation. Instead of the X and Y, I have plot segment 1, that is this one, and plot segment 2, that is this one. For plot segment 1, as you see from my data sets, find the range of the data is between 45 to 100. That I'm going to set, just make it from 0 to 100. I prefer that. And for plot segment 2 is the same, saying that I want to start from 0 to 100. So now they are actually in the same scale of the data here, which is good. So now what else I need? I need to specify the the link between these points. So there are some points in plot 1, some points here. I'm going to link them. So at the top, you see that there is a link option. I click on that, and I want to create a link between the common symbol that I'm having both sides. I click on that. Let's create some link for me. So I look at that and say, okay, for my data, everything starts from 45. So maybe for plot 1 and 2, I just start instead of 0 from 45. That's better. So I click on that and change it to, for example, 40. And the same for the other one, 40, to make it a bit top and nicer. Also, so these are the link, but from the link, I couldn't understand it's increasing or decreasing. I need to check the slope of them. So that's another challenge. I want to make it clear. So I'm going to click on the link specification on the layers, and here it has a color, and I have a value named status that said increase or decrease. So I'm going to click and bring it here. So I'm going to change the color. So I said that if it's increase, I'm using the Power BI one, I want to be green. If it's decrease, I want to be again Power BI team, and I want to make it as a green. And I said, yep, and add a legend for me. So it's getting a bit better. Now if I look at the data, you see that, okay, I can see two of the data, they they change their value. They from 90 something, they decrease to the 80, and the vice versa, and the rest is the green. You may tell me that why the green here is a bit different color. Is just some error in that. So they are the same color, same green color. So you see this one is a bit lighter, but at the end it's become kind of correct. What else I can do? I can say I don't want to be link. I want to be the link type shouldn't be just a straight line. I want to have a curve on that. So I make it as an arc one to make it nicer. Also, I said that, okay, I want to make it a bit closer to each other. I want to make it not that much distance. So you can bring it here. What else I can do? I can actually put the text for that. So there are two types of the text. One of them is a text with a dot, that is attached to your data point. The other one is just a simple text, so that's a different one. First of all, I'm going to put a simple text over here, and I said, let me zoom it. Okay, it's a bit challenging, not this one. Yeah, it's a bit, let me undo and bring it again. So I want to put it, for example, here. Okay, so this is the text that I have, and you can actually change it. Sometimes a bit challenging. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to change it here. I said score, for example, latest score. That's a problem of the kind of thing, and I can put it here. Yeah, it's a bit, sometimes a bit hard to, oh no. Come on, it's coming here. Yeah, oh. Yeah, so for example, latest is scored, so you can change it a bit over there. It's a bit, my screen is a bit small, and the chart also is not really easy to practice, so you can do that. Also, I want to put the name of the students. I have the name of the students for each data point. So I can click this time on this and put it in the center of the data. And you see that there is a text box to appear as a label for each data point. So for text box, again, I'm back here. I can see as a text here. So I said I want to put the student name as a text. So if you look at here, you see the Nick and also Lou and the other person over here. And you can say I want to change it the location. I want to change it in a proper one, so you can see the name of each people beside each data point. Again, because this is for each rows of the data, it comes under glyph. You see symbols and also the text, because it's happened for each rows of data. But for example, the text box that I created here, it is just for the whole chart. So that's a difference we have. We have a kind of the layers and we have a glyph. So layers is just one item in the charts, but the glyph is actually for each rows of the data. That's a bit different. And you can put the name, you can change again the chart name over here, put it slope chart. And we can kind of again save it over here. I'm going to save it, set slope chart as save as here. And again, we can export it. Let's export it to the Power BI custom visual. And you can change the name, student name. I put it as the same because later on we can kind of change it, but you see that you can change the label. I want to automate actually access based on when I load it to the Power BI is actually automate is create the range for me. And I need a tooltip. I just changed it to slope chart. And say, yeah, Power BI custom visual. Again, save it. Back here, I'm going to get the data. I think it was Excel or CSV. Yeah, it's a CSV file and slope chart. So load it. And I'm going to actually, same as the other one, import from file is create a file for me. Is a slope pbiviz file. I open it. And then I click on that. So you will see specification of the student name, score, and everything over here. I'm going to bring that. Again, it's not limited to that data set. You can use other data set for that thing. So I set the student name here, score, status. So now is actually the charts that I have actually is a bit things you can see here. You can specify the how it looks here. You can change it to become a bit smaller or bigger over here. But again, this one is the same as the other one. You can interactive. You can, for example, I said score by status, and you can actually filter this one or the other one. It should filter. Sometimes a bit take a time, but it should filter the other one. So yeah, if you click, I mean, now for the slow one is a bit different. Sometimes it's, yeah, it's still, no, for this one is still is not, yeah. And you see that the tooltip is actually available. So if I click on that, I can see the other information that I have over here. For the R custom visual, we don't have the tooltip here, but for this one, we have. For R, actually, we have, if you use the Plotly one, we have, but still not as easy as this one. So you see that how is actually easy. For that one, if I want to show you the code that I have for creating the custom visual, let me show you the code that I have over here. Let me, I hope that I bring it somewhere here. Yes, this is a, oh, it's not copy here. Sorry, no. So if I want to show that how is actually, you need to write lots of line of the code to create that one. If you want to see, you can just check it out on the internet. We have one. I'm saying that I want to create, for example, a time series one for Power BI custom visual. This is one of the custom visual that Microsoft team created. This one. This is one of the chart that actually using the custom visual. I just want to show you that how much code you need to write. So this is the one. If you want to create using, for example, same thing in Power BI. So you will see that how many lines of the code. I think if I just browse down to create the same functionality, you see that it's go over 100 rows of the data with lots of other coding. So that's really kind of handy to use the Charticulator through that. So what is the good things and bad things about that? The good things is, yeah, more visual, it's easy, no code, both interaction supports, easier to share. It still needs some documentation. The documentation, we don't have any good documentation on that yet. And also the format change, you see that I have some problem with the slope chart when I create it, is the dimension a bit different. The image support of the chart also is not really good, so I hope some changes happen and they make it good. It's a new one, but I hope that actually there. Error handling message. There should be something there. It's not easy to access. I'm saying that one of the problem I have with the Charticulator is there is not enough documentation on that. So I have some videos on that. If you're interested, I create some videos on YouTube, and also I have some blog posts on that. So you can check it out. I hope so in the future I create some course on that on the Charticulator very soon on the Academy, but also you can access to the one. So let me, yeah, that's a video that I have, a couple of videos. So you can check it out and see that how it works. It's actually really one of my interests through that. I'm an R person, but I prefer, for example, for a slope chart, when I created in R, I couldn't show you now, but it took me about 1,000 rows of the code and took me about at least four full days to create that one. That means that while I created here in 10 minutes. So for some of the charts, it's easier just to come here and create it. It's still not support all of the charts, but for some of the charts that your customer wants, so for example, your customer asks about a specific format of a scatter chart or the other, it's so easy to use and kind of use it. So I just put it here. So I'm ready for the questions. So Henk, thanks so much.
Yes, well, first of all, thank you very much for this nice session. I'm a bit flabbergasted about the possibilities of it, so I'm going to use it. And we got a couple of questions for you. So let's start with the first one, which comes from Wilco. And he says, do you need to have an account to log in to save your custom visual on the Charticulator site?
This works based on the actually when you click. So you see that when I create that one, there's an option to save it. So in each browser that you open Charticulator, if you click on save, it's going to save it there. So these are the chart that I've created just now, and if I click on that, it's going to open them. So I can access through. It's based on it actually doesn't have a storage. There's a storage based on the browser that has. So if I open my Chrome, there's a new kind of I format. I think my Chrome is not here. Yeah, it's a new laptop. It's kind of the new set Windows. So for example, if you go to Chrome, you couldn't see this chart. So it's based on the browser that you have.
Okay, so basically, you don't need to have an account.
Yes, exactly. But you can download that one. For example, you can download this one, and then later on, if you want, you can bring it into the other one and to use it.
So you need to keep it locally, and you can share it with yourself or others by using the browser.
Exactly.
Okay. Martijn asked, is there a drill through functionality available within these custom visuals?
Need to check that one. That's a good question. That's a good practice for me. I will check it out. Not sure about now. Thank you.
Sure about that. Okay. Mark asked, well, as example, Leila, you imported a flat table in the Charticulator editor to create the visual. Okay. And you're doing the same in Power BI. Assume, just for a quick example, just for the sake of clarity, does this also work with the relational data models?
You mean that how much is flexible? Yeah.
Well, if I translate the question correctly, you use just one flat file to create in Charticulator the file.
Yes.
And now you go to Power BI, and can it be that there is a relational model, and you use the relational model for creating the visual in Power BI?
Yeah, anything. So the one that I'm created, so for example, for this one, let me change it. So you remember I create a scatter chart with the MPG data set. Now I'm going to actually drag and drop the other data. So imagine this data is coming from kind of doesn't show really good a scatter chart, but you can use it for maybe, let's see, don't summarize. So you see that I can create the scatter chart. It's not because I don't have that much data on that. So this is just become a chart. So any type of a data can be used. So data can be relational or whatever. You can just create some format. So it doesn't matter. Yes, we can use it. Yeah.
All right. Great. Next question from Joost. What happens when you publish the Power BI report?
Oh, it works fine. It works fine. It's become part of the Power BI, and you can. So we don't have that problem we had with R. That we have it just because for R we just able to we can publish it, but in the gateway we have problem. Just with, it works with a personal gateway, but for this one, no, it's fine. You can use it. Yeah.
Mark asked on.
The good thing is that.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. The good thing is that this is a Microsoft product. So when I'm talking about R or the other, because that's not a Microsoft product, so it's very hard to handle the gateway and everything. But because this one is a Microsoft product, so that's why it's easy. Sorry about that.
No. That's great to mention because it's Microsoft. It's better integrated. Mark asks for are colors still customizable? Because in Power BI you can use a JSON file. Can you use a JSON file for this to create a theme file?
No. I'm not sure, but I think no. The answer is no.
Sorry, Mark, not yet.
Not yet.
Wilco have a question about having created and saved a custom visual and filled it with field context. It sees it working in the calculated environment and you use it afterwards in my Power BI. You need to fill the fields again with your initial data. So the question here is, if I use my custom visual in Power BI, do I need to fill the fields again with the original data? And as far as you showed me, it didn't.
Yeah.
Right. Well, as far as I can see, these are the questions.
Oh, cool.
And I'll just check a little bit. No, there are 2 more questions coming on. Martijn is asking, is it also possible to create custom map visuals with Charticulator?
Good question. So if I back to yeah, that's another thing that we don't have it yet. I haven't seen that. Also in the gallery, if I back to the gallery that we have, back to the gallery, I didn't see there also. That's another that I really want to know. I didn't see they present any map over there. There's some actually, but they are just come up this. This one is not a map actually, it's just a sum. I didn't see that. That's another thing that I wish it comes soon. No, not map. Yeah.
All right. And another question: will the Charticulator stay on site, or will it be included in Power BI? Will it be becoming a part of Power BI?
So it's kind of become, because it's created as a when you publish it, it's created as a pbiviz. Let me show you the file here. So when I actually create it, it's create me a pbiviz file. You see that the type of the file is pbiviz. So it's become part of the Power BI. So it's become embedded on that. Is it the question? Or maybe
yeah, the question was, will it stay on the site, or will it just be part included in Power BI? So that you are in Power BI and say, oh, I want this visualization, I don't need to go to another site, I just do it in Power BI.
Oh yes, yeah, I think so. It's become not part of the Power BI. Yeah, you need to kind of switch it.
You think it will stay separate from each other?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. I'm not sure about that. Let me check. That's a good one.
It's for this one. It's just a custom visual which you import, which is in a normal way.
Yeah.
So are there ways that you can get your custom visual you created in Charticulator in, let's say, the Microsoft Store surroundings? Could that be possible? Just a question of my interest. I create a beautiful visualization, so I want to have this one in the Microsoft Store.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Using Charticulator to create a custom visual, and then we want to actually put it in the gallery so other people can use it. I think so. It's possible because it's part of that. So yes, I think so. But you need to go through the process of the certify. So Microsoft will check it for the security and how much is reliable. I think why not? Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know the infographic, infographic visual. I heard that one is created using Charticulator.
Okay. Jacob has another question. What kind of charts are supported? Is it also tables or matrix? And matrix too?
So you mean the 3D one, or measures? For the measures.
Yeah, the question is a table and a matrix also supported? What kind of charts are there?
Oh, okay. So let me check that one. So it's kind of is really good from my side. It's really good when you have a charts with a different layout. It's really good for that. So you see that is a parallel one, or if you want a circle one, it's really good to support that one. Is not support the map. That's good for the image. Also, it shows some of the image. For example, here for the map of the one, but for example, it's not really. It's just a static actually map over the image. It's not based on the link. And also I couldn't see the table and the matrix yet on that. I didn't. It has something like this that you can specify the location in the different area, but I didn't check it for the matrix or table. I need to figure it out.
Okay, great. So there was a question at the start if there was able to create a color scheme into the Charticulator. And the other question from Joost is, well, if I use a JSON color scheme in Power BI, will the articulator react on that?
You mean that we have a JSON file in the Power BI and how Charticulator works with that? Yeah, that's a question, kind of.
Yes, does it work with it? It means that if I got a scheme that says I want the bars in this color, this kind of color.
Oh, okay.
Will it work? So we know it's not in the calculator, but you don't know whether it works or not.
No, I don't know actually. I need to check it. Yeah, no, I don't know really.
Okay. Sorry, no answer yet. Jacob, he asked if the performance of the custom visual in the demo, it seems to be a bit slowly interacting. Is it slower than a normal?
Yes. Yeah, it's a bit slower. Yeah, it's a bit slower now, so it's a bit slower than what we have. But I think the speed is better than R that I have. But yes, it's still a bit slower. Yes. And mostly for the it shouldn't be, but in some scenarios it still has some performance issues.
It's slower. If you compare it to a custom visual you made in an R script, will that be faster or not?
Faster. Yes, because for R, it's actually use the server through that, but here not. So for I tried for the more data, and I found that this one is much faster than R1. Yeah. Okay.
The other question from Dennis: can you publish a visual from Charticulator in my organization app database?
Oh, you mean that you bring the data from your database, or?
No. If you go to the marketplace, you also got an organizational my organizational place.
Yes. We can do that. Yeah. You can put it on the organization.
Just a visual. Yeah. All right. Well, Martijn asked if it's possible to create custom visuals that work with old versions of Power BI report server, or only with the latest version. Do you need to have the latest version of Power BI, or does it also work on Power BI report service?
I'm not sure about that. Didn't check on that, but I think so. It should be works, yeah. But they need to check that one. Didn't check and the report server. No, not yet. I didn't check it. Maybe I think it should work.
Yes. All right. Well. There is a question about the second chart. If the scores increases, the slope goes down. If you want the line going up, can you just change the values in the line from 100 to 40? You can just change the from up to down. Yes. The question is, how do you do it? But I think that's just changing the numbers around in your.
Exactly.
Yes.
I did. I should. The other one. Yes.
There are 2 questions left. At this moment, and that's something we need to. They're a bit more explicit, I think. Can you tell something about the certification process of custom visuals? Question of Dennis.
Okay, so the process is actually, so you submit your. I go through one of them for the R custom visual. So I'm not an expert on that, just do it once. And so you just check, send your files and everything that you created. So they're going to check it based on how much is able to handle the errors. So the first step is about how much your chart is reliable. So lots of tests and things happen about the speed of that, and also about the security, how much it can be compatible with the Microsoft thing. So there are some back forward things, and then after that Microsoft actually so a team will work for you to checking everything through that, and then it becomes certified. So that's a overall process, but there are some documentation things going behind that. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we have a really good company doing custom visual. What do you call it? I forget his name. They know we have a friend there, so he can help. I can send the email. So if you want information, you can ask him.
Please, that will be nice. Well, the last one is for Mike, and it's time, so we need to be fast on it. Mike is saying, I've been playing around with the Charticulator. Could you show an example with a nested chart? It's something I can't get to work. And he says, thanks. But at 9 o'clock, the question is, do we have time for this?
I need to kind of create a demo, not now actually, but I promise I create a video on that and I will send that one also to you so you can.
If you can send it to us, we'll post it and he can find it.
Yeah,
Right.
I will share with the user group, with your user group, so you can share. Yeah.
Great. So for now, it's 9 o'clock.
Oh, cool.
And you've done it well. I would thank you very, very much. Hope to see you soon again in full life, in full health. And thank you again. And it was great.
Yes. Thank you. Great. Thank you. Thanks so much. Please be safe. And yeah, we will talk later very soon. Thank you.
Okay. And I would say see you the next time. For all the others around, thank you very much for being here. And I hope to see you very soon on other sessions. Thank you very much for now, and I'm going to close the session. Hold on. There's Chris. Chris, tell me.
We are also having a borrel planned. So I'd like to drink for the people, because normally at the user group sessions, one of the things I also always like is to be able to chat with each other afterwards. And yeah, now in Corona times we cannot speak to each other anymore in real life, but we just do now an experiment. We created just a normal Teams meeting, and the link is posted in the live event Q&A, but I can also say it, so it's bit.ly/pbig-borrel. But it's also, you can also see the link in the live event QA. So everyone is welcome to join. And yeah, let's see what happens. We will enter all the same meeting, and it will be maybe chaos. I don't know, but let's have fun together.
We'll have. Thank you for this last information. And I just see a pop up that Michiel Dekker started already this session. Leila, you're welcome too, but I can imagine that you say, well, now I'm going to bed again. So we'll see. Thank you very much. And until the next time.
Thank
Bye.
You. Bye.